What is a Universes Beyond set that you hope that Magic the Gathering over the next year or two introduces us to? Welcome to MTG Thursday's Thoughts, and we'll talk about different thoughts I have about Magic the Gathering, about life, about different games, different formats. Today, though, I want to specifically talk about Universes Beyond stuff, but also like the SpongeBob Secret Lair. So we just had the SpongeBob Secret Lairs fully leaked out, and I'm glad they did what they did. Because in my personal opinion, I like when they reskin cards over making Secret Lairs mechanically unique, because they're harder to get people. It's harder for people to get their hands on them because there is a limited amount of them. That being said, what I like about reskins of them and what Secret Lair should be is mostly just reskins of cards, in my personal opinion. Granted, sometimes maybe if they do special ones, it's hard to get their hands on because you've got the Marvel one, you've got the old, like, there's ways you're supposed to make in-universe versions of those cards where we can still get them in different packs, but they're still hard to come by. I'm thinking like, originally The Walking Dead and Street Fighter were like two of the first ones. I had no opportunity to get them where I was living. They didn't ship there. But then recently, things have become a little more available more readily, but it's still like Marvel and stuff like that's harder. But SpongeBob was nice because SpongeBob is going to be nice. Granted, there are going to be people buying those things like crazy, so they are going to fly off the shelf. So just know this. If you're going to get in there and you want to buy it, it's probably going to end up being a craziness. You're going to end up having to wait because people are going to buy them. A bunch of people are going to try to resell them. Here's the thing. I know the resale market kind of works. I do sell cards and stuff like that as well of doing my normal stuff. So part of my stuff is buying and selling cards and products like that as well. Because these are reskins, the value will be up, but it will not be as much as if they were a unique card. So like Marvel, because there was one unique card in them, the price is a little bit higher. But because most of these are reskins of cards that already existed, you can see them being a little bit more expensive than maybe the original card. The Counterspell and probably Gary are probably going to be the two more expensive of all of the cards, and probably the SpongeBob as well, because people are going to want SpongeBob. But again, the pricing outside of that is going to be not probably too crazy. I would say when they first come out, yeah, the people are going to try to triple, quadruple the amount, the value of them. But I'm completely honest with you, do not spend more than like $40 on one or $50 on one. That's probably where the price are going to end up settling, because that's where a lot of the Secret Lairs end up settling down. It's about $10 to $15 more than their resale value. Sometimes they go below the resale value, depending on how hot or how good they are. So that's just what's been done in the past before. Just knowing I have a ton of Secret Lairs that I'm looking to offload, to give away, to sell and stuff like that. So I've seen a wide variety of the values of them depending on what's in them and stuff like that. So it's not bad, but I've seen a lot of people being like, I hate this is horrible. Magic should have been dark fantasy and should stay that way and shouldn't change and shouldn't go over here and do this. And I'm like, okay, you have the right to your opinion, but here's the thing. If you want Magic to die, then let it stay in this little corner and do its own little thing and not bring in new things and new features and stuff like that. But they're adapting. They're bringing in all kinds of new people to play the game. And if someone just comes in because of Final Fantasy or becomes a SpongeBob, welcome. Come on in. Or you want to build a SpongeBob themed deck. It's not as easy as maybe necessarily a Final Fantasy themed deck or building this and that. But wants you to welcome you in, wants you to get excited about Magic the Gathering, because we need more players. Because guess what? If you don't have a steady flow of new players coming in, a game will eventually die. Like, people can hold a game alive, so to say, but if there's not a steady flow of brand new players coming in consistently to keep the game alive, it dies. So, Magic the Gathering being one of the top trading card games out there. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is up there, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying in the sense Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not as popular. Lorcana has kind of taken its place. You've got Flesh and Blood that's up there as well. You've got all these different trading card games. But Magic the Gathering is trying to innovate and do things we haven't seen in the trading card games in a minute. And you know what? I think it's good. I like it. Granted, I wouldn't necessarily agree with it all in the past as much, but the only thing I don't agree with is doubling or tripling prices of stuff because it's Universes Beyond. But again, that is marketing 101. They don't eat the cost. They pass the cost on to us. So if they had to pay extra for a thing, they're going to charge us extra for it because in their heads, it's this and that. But in my personal opinion, let's just make those sets then. If it costs a lot more money, let's make those sets just modern legal or whatever. But I also understand the reason why they're standard legal, because it makes it a lot easier when new people come in to be able to get into standard, to get into the beginner format of standard and into commander and stuff like that as well. But Universes Beyond, I think it's good. I think we should keep it to no more than 3 sets a year. And then maybe 1 or 2 Secret Lairs a year would be nice. Not way it's not going too crazy, too fast. But I like where we're at. Personally, I think we need to go back to the 4 cycles of sets. So just cut back and do maximum 5 sets a year. So when I say 5 sets a year, you've got 4 standard legal sets, and you have 1 set that is a Commander set or a remastered set or a specific set focused for Modern, like Modern Horizons 4, like that'll come out in a year or two. You know, something like that is what I think would be good. Not as much product fatigue, not as much going on. You can build around those sets. You can give people time to actually build decks and see new decks and strategies go off for a couple months before now new sets in. That's my personal opinion. Let's go down to 5 sets a year, and then you can still do your secret layers every single month and have those out and about and do all that. But that's where I'm at. I think Universes Beyond is good for Magic the Gathering. I'm excited for it. You may disagree with me. You may not like what I'm having to say, but I've seen a lot of people recently complaining about Magic the Gathering and all of this stuff and where it's at. And sometimes, like, there's 2 or 3 people that have made some comments on some stuff, and I just wanted to be like, you like the SpongeBob? I just want, I see SpongeBob come out. They're like, I don't like this. I'm like, well, you don't have to like it. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to get the product. You can stay where you're at. The thing about it is, though, is as more and more cards come out, Power Creep's going to come out. You're going to need some of these cards. You're going to want to play with these cards. So that's like a lot of my older decks I have. I've got to start rebuilding and fixing them because there's other cards out there that are better or faster or quicker, you know, and so that's the only downside of having so many decks. And sometimes it's just you don't touch a deck and you pull out, you're like, wow, I haven't touched a deck in a long time, and it is not as good as it used to be. But Universes Beyond, personally believe it's good. Think it's great. I'm excited for it. I think we should do 2 Universes Beyond and 2 in-universe sets a year, and then we go to 1 set that's just it's its own thing. So it could be a Universes Beyond set, but it's only focused for Commander. Or they wanted to do like a Modern Horizons Universes Beyond. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Or we could just do Lord of the Rings again. I want to do Lord of the Rings again. Let's go back to Lord of the Rings, please. Thank you so much. But thank you guys so much for being here. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on Universes Beyond are. And if you do like Universes Beyond, where you want us to go with some of these. And as always, we'll see you next time.